Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Today we are diving deep into a topic that's pretty crucial for anyone looking to secure their financial future,
Well,
especially as retirement is on the horizon.
mm-hmm.
We're talking about black swan events,
Yes.
those unexpected shakeups that can send, shockwaves through the economy
Right.
and leave traditional investment strategies in a scramble.
Yeah, what's so fascinating about those events is they really kind of expose the fragility of conventional financial planning.
Yeah,
We tend to operate under this illusion that things are predictable,
right.
but black swan events, I think, remind us that the unexpected can completely rewrite the rules of the game.
Absolutely. And we've seen this play out in recent history. I mean, look at the 2008 financial crisis,
Yeah.
the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right.
Those were some serious wake-up calls that traditional approaches to wealth preservation, they might not be enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about living in fear of the unknown, but about acknowledging these events and incorporating strategies that can help you navigate them effectively.
Right.
That's where gold IRAs come into the picture
Okay.
as a potential safeguard against the financial fallout of black swan events.
Interesting.
And for those of you who are American retirees,
Yeah.
you can visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for a free checklist that can help you choose the right gold IRA company for your needs.
Great point. But before we get into the specifics of gold IRAs, let's start with a clear understanding of what we're even dealing with here.
Yeah.
What exactly defines a black swan event?
So the term was coined by investor and author Nassim Nicholas Taleb, and it refers to events that have three key elements to them.
Okay.
They're rare and unpredictable, they have a massive impact, and they often lead to these retrospective attempts to explain them away as if they were foreseeable.
So these aren't just your everyday market fluctuations. We're
Right.
talking about those seismic shifts that catch everyone off guard.
Precisely take the 2008 financial crisis, for example.
Right.
Leading up to it, the housing market just seemed unstoppable.
Yeah.
Many experts were assuring us of its stability,
Yeah.
and then almost overnight, the bubble burst, triggering a domino effect that rippled through the global economy.
It's like that saying, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah,
We look back and try to connect the dots, but in the moment, these black swan events,
right.
they feel like bolts from the blue.
Exactly. And that's why it's crucial to have a strategy in place that can withstand those shocks, especially as you think about preserving your wealth for retirement
Yeah.
and potentially passing it on to future generations.
And that's where this idea of gold as a safe haven comes in.
Mhm.
We hear a lot about it. Can you unpack why gold is often seen as a go-to asset during times of uncertainty?
So gold has this really unique position in the financial world.
Okay.
It's a tangible asset, unlike stocks or bonds, which are essentially digital representations of value.
Right.
You can physically hold gold,
Yeah.
and that tangibility offers a sense of security during turbulent times.
So it's not just numbers on a screen.
Right.
It's something concrete that you can actually hold in your hand. I can see how that would be reassuring when everything else feels shaky.
Precisely, but there's more to it than just that psychological comfort of holding a physical asset.
Okay.
Gold also tends to move inversely to equities.
Okay.
So when stock markets decline, gold often rises in value.
Interesting.
This negative correlation makes it a potential hedge against market volatility.
So if another event like 2008 were to happen, having some gold in your portfolio could potentially cushion the blow from losses in other areas.
That's the idea.
Okay.
It's about diversification
Yeah.
and building resilience into your portfolio. And that brings us to gold IRAs,
Okay.
which offer a way to incorporate gold into your retirement savings with certain tax advantages.
That sounds promising.
Yeah.
But let's break it down for our listeners. What exactly is a gold IRA and how does it work?
So a gold IRA is essentially a self-directed IRA that allows you to hold physical gold as well as other precious metals like silver, platinum, palladium within a retirement account. And it functions similar to a traditional IRA, but instead of holding paper assets like stocks and bonds, you're holding physical precious metals.
So it's like taking the concept of a traditional IRA and applying it to the world of precious metals.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But why would someone choose a gold IRA over a traditional IRA, especially when it comes to estate planning?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
There are several compelling reasons,
Okay.
and they all revolve around the unique characteristics of gold. Let's delve into three major benefits that stand out.
All right, I'm ready. Tell me more about these benefits.
So the first and arguably the most significant is wealth preservation, particularly during those unpredictable black swan events we've been discussing.
Okay.
As we've established, gold tends to hold its value
Yeah.
and even appreciate when other markets are in turmoil.
So if the stock market takes a hit, the gold in my IRA could act as a sort of ballast, helping to stabilize my overall portfolio.
That's the general idea. Of course, no investment is entirely immune to market fluctuations.
Right.
But historically, gold has demonstrated a remarkable ability to weather economic storms.
That makes sense. Now, what about the tax advantages? I know traditional IRAs offer tax benefits, but are there any special tax considerations with a gold IRA?
Absolutely. One of the key advantages of a gold IRA is its tax-deferred status.
Okay.
With a traditional gold IRA, you don't pay taxes on your capital gains annually.
Okay.
Instead, you defer those taxes until retirement, when you typically withdraw funds at a lower tax rate.
So you're potentially delaying those taxes and paying them at a lower rate down the road? That sounds like a pretty sweet deal, especially when you're thinking about long-term wealth accumulation.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third major benefit, diversification and asset protection.
Okay.
Gold as a tangible asset is not directly tied to the performance of the stock market or the dollar.
So it's not subject to the same fluctuations and risks as traditional investments. That adds a layer of protection to my portfolio.
That's right. It acts as a counterbalance, potentially reducing your overall risk, and there's an additional layer of protection to consider.
Okay.
Gold IRAs are generally protected from creditor claims.
Interesting.
So in the unfortunate event of a lawsuit or bankruptcy, the assets in your gold IRA are typically shielded.
That's a significant benefit, especially for individuals concerned about protecting their assets.
Right.
So we've covered the basics of black swan events and the potential role of gold IRAs in mitigating their impacts. But how do gold IRAs fit into the bigger picture of estate planning? I imagine there are unique considerations when it comes to passing on these assets.
You're absolutely right. Integrating gold IRAs into your estate plan requires careful consideration of several factors, especially beneficiary designations, the use of trusts, and the tax implications for your heirs.
I can see how that could get a bit complicated. So let's break it down step by step, starting with beneficiary designations. What do I need to know about that?
So when you set up your gold IRA, it's crucial to designate beneficiaries who will inherit the assets upon your passing.
Okay. This ensures a smooth transfer of assets, avoiding the often lengthy and costly probate process.
Right.
It provides peace of mind knowing that your loved ones will receive their inheritance without unnecessary delays or complications.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's about simplifying things for your heirs and ensuring that your wishes are carried out smoothly. Now, you mentioned trusts. Can you explain how incorporating a trust can be beneficial when it comes to gold IRAs and estate planning?
So trusts offer a powerful tool for managing assets,
Okay.
especially when you want to maintain a certain level of control even after you're gone. Let's say you have young beneficiaries or heirs who might not be ready to handle a large inheritance responsibly.
Yeah, I can see that could be a concern. You wouldn't want them to make impulsive decisions or be taken advantage of.
Exactly. By establishing a trust, you can specify how and when your heirs access the assets in your gold IRA. You can set up guidelines, appoint a trustee to oversee the distribution, and essentially create a roadmap for how your legacy is managed. So it's like having a designated protector for your assets, ensuring that they're used according to your wishes, even after you're no longer around to manage them directly.
Precisely. It's about safeguarding your legacy and ensuring that your hard-earned savings benefit your loved ones in the way you intended.
That's a powerful concept now. Let's talk about the tax implications for heirs inheriting a gold IRA. I know traditional IRAs have specific rules, but are there any unique tax considerations when it comes to precious metals?
That's a crucial point. While gold IRAs offer tax-deferred benefits during your lifetime, there are specific tax rules that apply to inherited IRAs, including those holding precious metals in the past. Beneficiaries could often stretch out distributions and tax payments over their own lifetimes, minimizing the immediate tax burden. However, recent changes in tax laws have introduced a 10-year rule for most inherited IRAs.
Okay, this 10-year rule sounds like a significant change. Can you explain what it means for beneficiaries of a gold IRA?
Essentially, it means that beneficiaries must typically liquidate the inherited gold IRA within 10 years of the original owner's death. And that liquidation can trigger a tax liability.
I see where this could become tricky. So if the value of the gold has appreciated significantly over time, the heirs could face a substantial tax bill upon inheriting the gold IRA.
Right.
That's something to consider carefully.
Absolutely. It's crucial for both the original owner of the gold IRA and their potential heirs to understand these tax implications and plan accordingly. Consulting with an estate planning attorney who specializes in IRAs and precious metals can be invaluable.
That sounds like sage advice. It's not just about setting up the gold IRA, it's about integrating it into a comprehensive estate plan that minimizes potential tax liabilities for your beneficiaries.
Exactly. It's about a holistic approach to wealth preservation and legacy planning.
Now, before we move on, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier, diversification. We've talked about the benefits of gold, but how does it compare to other asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate, especially in the context of a long-term investment strategy?
That's an excellent question. When comparing gold to other asset classes, it's important to consider factors like volatility inflation, hedging capabilities, liquidity, and as we've already discussed, tax advantages. Gold, particularly within a gold IRA, tends to have lower volatility than stocks, especially during times of crisis.
That aligns with what we've been discussing about gold being a safe haven asset. It's not about producing the highest returns, it's about stability and preservation.
Precisely. And when it comes to inflation, gold has historically held its own. As the purchasing power of the dollar declines, the value of gold tends to rise. This makes it a potential hedge against inflation, which can erode the value of your savings over time.
That's a crucial consideration, especially as we see inflationary pressures rising in the current economic climate. It's about maintaining the purchasing power of your wealth, not just seeing numbers on a statement.
Exactly. Now, liquidity is an area where gold can be a bit more complex than some other assets. While gold is generally a liquid asset, selling physical gold from a gold IRA might require going through specific procedures and dealers. It's not as simple as selling stocks online.
So it's not about quick trades or day trading. It's a more long-term strategy that requires careful planning and execution.
Precisely. And as we've already discussed, gold IRAs offer tax-deferred growth, which is a significant advantage compared to some other asset classes. This allows your wealth to potentially grow more effectively over time.
Right. The power of compounding, coupled with the tax benefits, can make a significant difference in the long run. And I want to remind our listeners, if you're considering a gold IRA, we have a fantastic resource available for you. You can get a free checklist to help you choose the right gold IRA company.
Just visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. This checklist provides valuable insights and tips to guide you through the selection process.
It's a must-have for anyone exploring gold IRAs. Now, let's shift gears a bit and revisit gold's performance in relation to other asset classes, particularly during those black swan events we've been discussing. The 2008 financial crisis is a prime example. While the stock market plummeted, gold prices surged. It's fascinating how gold tends to stand out in terms of stability when other markets are in turmoil.
That's a key observation. It highlights the role of gold as a potential counterbalance within a diversified portfolio. It's not about putting all your eggs in one basket. It's about creating a portfolio that can withstand unexpected shocks.
So for investors seeking to protect their wealth from those unpredictable black swan events, gold, particularly within a gold IRA, could be a valuable addition to their portfolio.
That's certainly a perspective worth considering. Of course, every investment decision should be made in consultation with a qualified financial advisor who understands your individual circumstances and risk tolerance. But understanding the role of gold, especially in the context of black swan events, can be an important part of building a resilient financial strategy.
It's about being proactive and creating a financial roadmap that can navigate both the expected and the unexpected.
Exactly. And for some, that roadmap might include exploring the potential benefits of a gold IRA as part of a diversified and well thought out investment strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
And for some, that roadmap might include exploring the potential benefits of a gold IRA as part of a diversified and well thought out investment strategy.
It's about being proactive and creating a financial roadmap that can navigate both the expected and the unexpected.
Exactly. And for some, that roadmap might include exploring the potential benefits of a gold IRA as part of a diversified and well thought out investment strategy.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into gold IRAs and black swan events, let's recap some of the key takeaways for our listeners.
First and foremost, we've established that black swan events are, by their very nature, unpredictable.
Right.
They are those high-impact occurrences that can disrupt financial markets and economies in ways we often can't foresee.
Yeah.
While we can't predict when or how these events will occur, we can certainly take steps to mitigate their potential impact on our wealth.
Right. It's about being prepared even for the things we can't predict.
Yeah.
And that preparation can take many forms, including diversifying our investment portfolios.
Precisely, and that's where gold IRAs come into the picture.
Right.
They offer a potential avenue for wealth preservation, especially during those times of market volatility when traditional investments might struggle. We've also discussed the tax advantages of gold IRAs, which allow for tax-deferred growth and potentially lower tax rates upon distribution during retirement.
Yeah.
Those benefits can really add up over time.
And let's not forget the diversification and asset protection benefits we discussed. Gold being a tangible asset, not directly tied to the stock market or the dollar,
Right.
can add a layer of stability to a portfolio. And the fact that gold IRAs are generally protected from creditor claims provides an additional sense of security.
Those are all crucial points to remember, and as we discussed earlier, integrating gold IRAs into a broader estate plan is another key takeaway.
Yeah.
By carefully considering beneficiary designations, perhaps exploring the use of trusts and understanding the tax implications for your heirs, you can ensure that your wealth is protected and transferred according to your wishes.
Right.
It's about taking control of your financial legacy.
And for those of you who are American retirees and are ready to explore gold IRAs further, remember to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for that free checklist we mentioned earlier.
Absolutely.
It will help you choose the right gold IRA company for your needs. It's a valuable resource that can guide you through the process.
It's a great starting point for anyone who wants to learn more about gold IRAs and how they might fit into their overall financial strategy.
Now, as we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question. Given the unpredictable nature of our world and the reality of these black swan events, what steps can you take today to protect your wealth and build a resilient financial legacy for yourself and for future generations?
That's a powerful question and one that each of us needs to grapple with. It's a reminder that financial planning is not a one-time event,
Right.
but an ongoing process. It's about being proactive, adaptable, and always seeking knowledge and strategies that empower you to navigate the complexities of the financial world.
It's about taking ownership of your financial future. Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into gold IRAs and black swan events. We hope you found this information valuable and insightful as you continue on your journey toward financial security.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into gold IRAs and black swan events, let's recap some of the key takeaways for our listeners.
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, we've established that black swan events, they're by their nature unpredictable. Those high impact occurrences that can disrupt markets and economies in ways that we often can't even really foresee.
Exactly.
And, while we can't predict when or how these events will occur,
Right.
we can certainly take steps to kind of mitigate their impact on our wealth.
Absolutely. It's about being prepared even for the things that we can't predict.
Right.
And that preparation can take many forms, including diversifying those investment portfolios.
Precisely. And that's where gold IRAs come in.
Yeah.
They offer a potential avenue for wealth preservation, especially in those times of market volatility when traditional investments might struggle. We've also discussed the tax advantages of gold IRAs, which allow for tax-deferred growth and potentially lower tax rates upon distribution during retirement.
Right.
Those benefits can really add up over time.
And let's not forget the diversification and asset protection benefits that we talked about.
Right.
Gold being a tangible asset, not directly tied to the stock market or the dollar, can add a layer of stability to a portfolio.
Yeah.
And the fact that gold IRAs are generally protected from creditor claims provides an additional sense of security.
Those are all crucial points to remember. And as we discussed earlier, integrating gold IRAs into a broader estate plan is another key takeaway.
Absolutely.
By carefully considering beneficiary designations, perhaps exploring the use of trusts, and understanding the tax implications for your heirs, you can ensure that your wealth is protected and transferred according to your wishes.
Right.
It's about taking control of your financial legacy.
And for those of you who are American retirees and are ready to explore gold IRAs further,
Yeah.
remember to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for that free checklist we mentioned earlier. It'll help you choose the right gold IRA company for your needs. It's a valuable resource that can really guide you through that process.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great starting point for anyone who wants to learn more about gold IRAs and how they might fit into their overall financial strategy.
Now, as we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
Given the unpredictable nature of our world and the reality of black swan events, what step can you take today to protect your wealth and build a resilient financial legacy for yourself and for future generations?
That's a powerful question and one that each of us needs to grapple with.
Yeah.
I think it's a reminder that financial planning isn't a one-time event,
Right.
but an ongoing process.
It is.
It's about being proactive, adaptable, and always seeking knowledge and strategies that empower you to navigate the complexities of the financial world.
Absolutely. It's about taking ownership of your financial future. Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into gold IRAs and Black Swan events. We hope you found this information valuable and insightful as you continue on your journey toward financial security.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve.